because not a lot has changed for them.
Okay, what team do you want to talk
But
about?
I also think it's an underrated good offseason. And that is the Milwaukee Bucks.
Milwaukee Bucks. All right, let me move to them.
Milwaukee Bucks, relatively quiet offseason, right? Like they re-signed Portis on a much bigger deal.
Yep.
Also have kept their entire roster the same for the most part, barring the fact that they signed Joe Ingles. And whatever you think about Joe Ingles right now, he is a perfect fit for the way that this
Yeah.
team plays. And it's an upside swing play. Like
Hmm.
they don't need Ingles. I think that this is the one team that is supremely confident in the fact that they think they could have won last season with the
Yeah.
team they had. I think all the moves they've made so far is just saying, "Hey, if we had Middleton, this was a championship team again. So we're not gonna rock the boat and change things."
Hmm.
Making moves like Joe Ingles for hardly anything because he's hurt. That's the kind of moves that people look back on and say, "Wow, that was smart."
Yeah.
Because if he's even 75% of the Joe Ingles that played for Utah, that's playmaking that Milwaukee did not have before,
Hmm.
and even more 3-point shooting than this team already had, which they already had a lot of 3-point shooters. So this is my personal pick. As of this moment, I think they're the champions next season.
Ooh.
Um, I
Okay.
I really thought they should have won last season too. I really do. But do you think about them right now? Where do you think they need to do anything, or do you think they're doing just the right amount, or too
I'd
much? What
be
do you think?
I'll be curious to see what they do in terms of you obviously bring in Joe Ingles. Can he be the Joe Ingles of Utah, where he was making some 3-point shots, he was making some plays for some guys? Like you're hoping that that's the Joe Ingles you bring after a huge suffering knee injury. That's going to be
Yep,
a question mark for me. Bobby Portis, you bring him back for a bigger contract. I mean, he's gonna have to take a little bit of a bigger role and responsibility with all that money. And I love their draft pick in Marjan Beaucamp. I think that he's a
love it.
great from the Yakima area, great
Hmm.
player. I think that he's another guy that again adds that toughness that you're missing now with Pat or sorry not Pat with PJ Tucker leaving and potentially going to a different team. He's a guy that I like to see
He did.
have.
He did leave.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
with
yeah,
Philly
yeah.
now.
He's a Philly. Yeah, I mean that's I just think that you have to do that now that he left. I think that Marjan Beaucamp would be a great kind of replacement. You also bring in Wesley Matthews again. Can he be at least a solid 3-and-D guy?
Brought
That's going to be
bring back Wesley Matthews.
yeah. They agreed to
He with
it.
the Lakers last season.
I think he was with the Lakers last season.
That's weird because he was with them for the championship, and then he left, went to the Lakers, and now he's back again.
Yeah, so I think that
Weird. I like that though.
bringing him back is a great thing. Pat Connaughton exercising his player option again, kind of a decent role player.
He's solid. As much as I don't like him, he's definitely solid.
So I think at the end of the day, I think that this was a solid kind of off season for them. I still think that maybe they can make another move depending on what they have. I mean, like, do you trust your big three again in Holiday, uh, Middleton, and Giannis? That's going to be the biggest question mark for me. Is like, do you trust those three guys to get you to the promised land
Yeah,
again?
and I think if the last 2 seasons, if you've been watching, I think you probably should. I
Yeah,
really do. Um, and one caveat too for this team is just it's easy when you have Giannis.
yeah,
Like relatively speaking, it is easy to
mm-hmm.
build around him because he's an absolute devastator of a player. So I have really enjoyed seeing Milwaukee just say,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, we were ready last season and it just fell the wrong way." And I feel like a lot of teams nowadays don't do that. I feel like teams panic all the
Yeah,
time now. So I just wanted to bring them up, give them a little credit, just to say like, hey, show some confidence in your guys.
mm-hmm.
Make a few little moves that make sense for the squad.
Yeah,
And they're a team. They're a team. Let me just throw one little move I think they could do. I would love to see them get in on this fire sale from Utah and grab a guy like Bogdanovich or Clarkson. You know,
ooh, that might be a
just
good
have
pickup. Clarkson,
just
good
have
pickup.
another guy off the bench that can give you 20 on a random night. And if they had a guy like Clarkson, I mean, dang, dude, what are you gonna do defensively to stop this team? Just,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even a Clarkson guy. Like, it's just he can get you a bucket or two. So
Yeah,
if I were them, that's what I would do. I would actually prefer Bogdanovich, to be fair. Just
yeah.
for his size, I think would be nice for them just to stay huge. But I mean, I like this squad a lot. I think As of right now, and we'll get more into detail with like our predictions for next season as we get closer, but
Mhm.
this is my, as of right now, AD, Kyrie are still where they're at. This is my team for next season.
Yeah, and we'll find out in the near future, like what will happen to the Milwaukee Bucks, like where they're going to be focusing, where they're going to try to get their playmaking from, and kind of figure out what their situation is going into the near future. So yeah, I mean, let us know in the comment section down below. Are you a believer in the Bucks, or do you think that they have a lot more improvements and moves to make? Let us know in the comment section down below.